What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now Plus. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about a pretty interesting rumor from Mr. Maddie Plays, obviously his YouTube channel. He dropped the tidbit that Microsoft has also turned down, or had also turned down, the Knights of the Old Republic remake that's in the works from Aspyr. Now, it is a rumor. Obviously you have to take it with a grain of salt, but I'm really, after yesterday, I'm inclined to believe it. And yesterday, so remember, actually, I made a video on my main channel, so let me just plug that right here. But if you guys don't know, I'm talking about the Marvel situation, right? That basically Marvel went to Microsoft and went to Sony and said, hey, here's what we're doing. Are you interested? And Microsoft said no. Now, I defended Microsoft a little bit, even in that video. This was back in 2014, all of this stuff. Obviously, they only had a handful of studios at the time. I'm not, this isn't about, was it right for Microsoft to do that or wrong, but in terms of making this rumor accurate, I believe it, because this is basically the exact same thing. So now Microsoft is starting to have a history of turning down these things that end up, I guess, winding themselves up with PlayStation, right? They end up going to PlayStation. So again, this rumor is pretty much that they were pitched the idea and they said no, they didn't want it. In fact, this is actually kind of throwing Microsoft under the bus a little bit. Microsoft wasn't very confident, or isn't confident, in Aspyr's ability to do a remake of Knights of the Old Republic, and that's kind of why they turned them down. They weren't sure if it was going to turn out well. Now, that, like I just said, I mean, you can very much look at that as throwing Microsoft under the bus. I would say until the game is out, that very much does make Microsoft look bad. If the game comes out and it's a garbage fire and we say, wow, this was not a good fit, they did not do a good remake, Microsoft actually looks smart here. I want to actually because again, I feel like these kind of stories really spark console warriors. And as I've talked about before, I hate those kind of people, right? I don't agree with them. I don't like people that just bow down to these fictional gods that are Xbox and PlayStation, and they just, side with one or the other. I think it's much more fun to bash both and to love both and to all, do all of those kind of things that I do personally. So, I could see it. I could see, I see all sides of it. I can see why it makes Microsoft look really stupid right about now, because it's like, all right, well, Sony, this is a big deal. Like, having a Knights of the Old Republic remake right now is a big deal. It's going to be console exclusive for PlayStation. And I believe it also comes on PC, but it's going to be console exclusive on PlayStation for maybe a year, right? Probably a year and a half. So, and again, if the game comes out and it sucks, and by the way, I actually have also said in videos, I don't know. Aspyr has only done ports up until this point. I'm not saying they have no talent. I've actually reviewed many of Aspyr's games of the ports. I think the ports are relatively okay. I don't think they're incredible. I guess also, how much can ports really be, done better? They're ports. They're not remasters. They're not remakes. They literally are just making the game work on a different set of consoles. That's really all it is. So, granted, they really don't have a lot of experience doing this, but it again, now let's look at it from like an Xbox perspective. It is kind of troublesome a little bit, I think, in terms of missed opportunities. Now, maybe, I'd love to kind of see this stuff. Like, what does PlayStation turn down? What does Nintendo turn down? What's EA turn? Like, this is interesting. Like, these things are really fascinating to me. They're fun. They're really fun to talk about, because it's basically a multiverse, right? What in the multiverse, we had a Spider-Man game on Xbox. And now, again, like, it's kind of unreasonable to have assumed that could have happened, because they only had a few developers at the time of the Marvel thing. So were they going to give Spider-Man to Coalition, who makes the Gears games? How would that have turned out? Now, again, that would have been a game. So how would that look? I want to see the multiverse of how that would look. What's the world where Microsoft rolls in their Xbox Bethesda presentation and says, hey, we're doing a Knights of the Old Republic. We're not doing it. It's exclusive to us. Like, what is that? How much does that help them? How much does that engage hype around the internet on them, right? Versus right now, where it's not on them, it's on PlayStation. It's interesting. Again, though, I am not coming at this from like a console warrior thing. Again, I actually think It's as basic as this. One more time to summarize. I do think on the surface level, of course it looks bad for them. It does. It makes them look kind of dumb right now, where it's like, well, this could be a gigantic thing. People love Knights of the Republic. It's possible the remake is phenomenal, and that's going to make them look really bad if it is, because now not only is it just PlayStation exclusive, but now you also know that they had the chance to reverse it. They had the chance for it to be on them, and then they turned it down. So that would make them look bad. Again, though, I don't want to diminish the idea that if the game sucks and we say, wow, Aspyr really can't do anything besides ports, then Microsoft looks smart, and their assessment, because again, the rumor is like they assessed it. They said, we don't think this may turn out well. And again, that probably looks pretty bad in terms of like the relationship Microsoft has with a developer or publisher, I guess in this case. That probably looks bad. But if they're right, well, that's it. They're right. They looked at it. They said, hey, harsh opinion, but you guys suck. You don't know how to do this, and we don't trust you, so why would we want it to be an exclusive to us? And that could actually end out being true. I do. My personal opinion, I think it'll be fine. I think the remake will be good. I probably don't think it's going to be like the greatest thing of all time, but I really find it hard to believe it's going to suck. Like they're not going to be able to pull off some sort of, okay remake of this game. But we'll see. But definitely a interesting story to follow up right after we hear that, they turned down Marvel. So they turned down Marvel, they turned down Disney, which I guess they're pretty closely linked, right? So almost the same thing, but not. But again, I'd like to know these other deals, side deals that don't actually go through. What's PlayStation turned down before? These are interesting stories to me. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel, bell icon turned on so you know when all these videos go up, and I hope to see you all on the next video.